Hi, my name is Selena and I'm here to do part one of my top 10 books of 2014. So in this video I will do 10 through 6, and then another video I'll do 5 through 1. So my number 10 book for 2014 is going to be Jasper Fford's Shades of Grey. I really did like this book. I picked it up because I'm familiar with Jasper Fford's other series, the Thursday Next series. This is keeping in tone with his humor, but is slightly darker in tone than the Thursday Next series. Not to say that it's a hard or tough read. It's not gritty per se, but compared to the Thursday Next series, it's a little bit, the world is just a little bit darker, a little more pessimistic, I think, than the Thursday Next series world is. The book's world building is based upon color perception. So your status in society is based upon the colors you can or cannot see, which I find pretty interesting. The main character's name is Eddie Russet, and he is trying to raise the status of his family by marrying a higher person in the blood echelon. I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. But then things start to unfold. He meets someone who is called a gray because they don't perceive any colors, and things start to happen. So I gave this book 4 stars on Goodreads because I did like the world building. I thought it was very unique. Again, I love Jasper Fford's writing style, so that's why I gave it 4 stars. The reason I didn't give it 5 was because I felt like it took a very long time to get to the end. There was a lot of world building, and I think that's because this is supposed to be number 1 in a series. The series is called Road to High Saffron. However, this book has been out for a couple of years now, and I have not seen the second book, so I'm not sure if the second book is going to be coming out or not, what's happening with that. But yeah, number 9 on my list, let me get my list, is The Wind-Up Girl by Paolo Bachigalupi, and this is a dystopian set in the not too far distant future in Thailand where food is scarce. So mankind has started to genetically modify and manipulate cells to produce stocks of food. And there's war in countries and factions because now food is such a scarce thing to be had. Also, with the theme of splicing and genetic modifications, they've started to tamper with human DNA, and they came up with a creature called Wind-Up Person. Now, in some parts of the world, the Wind-Up people are not degraded. They're looked upon fairly well, though their status in society is fairly low. But in this world, in Thailand, Wind-Up people are considered to be non-humans. They have no soul, so they're really downtrodden and beaten upon group of people. And this one girl is living in this, and she has to deal with not just the warring companies and warring nations because of food stock. She also has to deal with overcoming people's prejudices of being a wind-up. And so this story does come with a content warning. This is a tough read. There are parts of this book that are just really hard to get through. But Paolo Bachigalupi's writing is beautiful. He's a very vivid writer and paints these wonderfully just intricate, colorful pictures with his words. I love his writing, but just some of the content is hard to get through. Number 8 is The Rhythmatist by Brandon Sanderson, and he is on my list twice. So you'll see him in both videos. The Rhythmatist is part 1 in a series called The Rhythmatist, and I think this is his only series that's geared purposefully toward like a middle school age reader. It's a world that is steampunk alternate reality, kind of, I think, turn of the century maybe. The time frame is not quite clear, but in this world, the magical system is based on the ability to draw chalk figures, and certain people have the ability not only to just draw chalk figures, but to imbue those chalk figures with, powers. So the main character goes to a school. It's kind of like a West Point where you learn strategies of combat using chalk figures because there's a war happening in the West. We hear of the war, but we don't really get to see much action of the war. the action and the story sticks very much to the campus of this school, and the main character goes to the school, learns the tricks of the trade, but he doesn't have the powers to imbue these chalk figures with combat ability. But he gets to go because his mother is a janitor at the campus, so that's why he is going to that school. It's a really good story. It focuses more on the conflict of two professors at the school and how the main character and another student kind of get caught in the fray of that conflict. Number 7 is Dragon and Thief by Timothy Zahn. I gave that book 4 stars. I gave The Rhythm That Says 4 stars too. And I think on Goodreads it's averaging around 4.2. So Dragon and Thief I gave 4 stars, and the average is about 4 as well on Goodreads. And it's the story of a kid who is handed down not a very good legacy from his uncle, who he's been living with because his uncle is a thief. And so, living on the lam, running from authorities, he kind of falls in the middle of a war between a dragon and his people and another group of people who we don't really get much information about. But this is supposed to be part 1, book 1 in a series. So the magic system is what really got me. The dragon is kind of like a parasite. It doesn't take things from the human, but its means of living is gained by latching on to human sentient beings, and it becomes a 2-dimensional creature. It's like a tattoo on the human's body, but then it has the ability to jump off the human body and be a 3-dimensional being. So going back and forth was really cool and creative, and I like the way that Timothy Zahn was able to write that story, so I gave it 4 stars. It was a really good read. I do want to finish this series. Number 6 is Soulless by Gail Carringer, and it's book 1 in the, Parasol Protectorate series. I think this is supposed to be like a parody of like a Jane Austen Victorian style literature and Victorian mores, although Jane Austen is not Victorian, she's Regency, and there's a difference. But it's, I think, a parody of all that. Plus, it's like a supernatural, paranormal kind of story because there's vampires and werewolves and ghosts that populate this world as well. So it's a steampunk Victorian parody of, old world Victorian England, and it's fun to read. And so that there is my part 1 of my top 10 of 2014, and I'll see you guys later with the rest of my top 10 of 2014, 5 through 1. Bye!